Wow. Wow. What a moment. What a moment for the U.S. national team. Today's win means so much for U.S. soccer. It is arguably, I can already put this win in a top three moments in U.S. men's national team history. There's especially at the World Cup, specifically at the World Cup. I can name two World Cup moments that are probably bigger moments from a sporting aspect, but for the growth of the game here in the United States, there's not a bigger moment than today's win. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. I'm sorry. This is going to be a long ramble for people who are more interested in my predictions or my takeaways from games or something like that. But today's game is on another level for the United States national team. I mean, I just have to go through a few things. Let me pull up kind of my notes real quick. Sorry. But I think I talked about it just briefly. Mexico 2002, round of 16, we won 2-0. That is number one right now. That is the first ever knockout stage win for the U.S. national team ever in a World Cup. 2010, late goal against Algeria to send us into the knockout stage where we ended up being defeated by Ghana. And then 2014 was Belgium in the round of 16, and we have a chance to now get revenge on that game. This game is all about revenge, and this is a moment in time. If you are in the United States, interested in soccer at all, this is the time to get behind it. We are looking at some of the greatest players in their position in U.S. national team history. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. Christian Pulisic on the left wing. Malik Tillman at a 10 is probably going to end up by the end of his career. Maybe not the best U.S. national team career, but one of the best one of the best U.S. attacking midfielders, even if it doesn't show on his national team stats. Florian Balogun, probably the best striker in U.S. national team history by the next few years, by the next World Cup. Anthony Robinson, I'd already say is the best left back in U.S. national team history. Carlos Bocanegra will give him a run for his money. Chris Richards by the next World Cup probably overtakes Alexi Lalas in his career. We've had our Clem's Dempsey's, we've had our Landon Donovans, and they paved the way for these players. I'll give them their flowers. They paved the way for these players, but this is a moment that will forever live in U.S. soccer history. I'm just thinking, I'm just imagining kids in the future growing up in the U.S. thinking about these players and wanting to be like these players, wanting to be Florian Balogun, doing the LeBron silencer and thinking and being like, gosh, remember when we watched at this watch party in X town in the middle of a suburb in the United States and we watched Balogun do that celebration. Oh my gosh, it's me doing it. I'm going to do that celebration. There's going to be people doing it in like high school soccer here in the United States, and kids are going to start doing that celebration in soccer because of Flo Balogun. And that's what I'm thinking about right now. We see kids do it all the time, doing celebrations for their favorite players in every sport. I mean, we see it time and time again, and we're going to see it again with this goal. I know it's a LeBron James celebration. It doesn't matter. It's going to be related in soccer to Flo Balogun, and that is a moment in U.S. soccer history that will be remembered forever. And I firmly believe that when it comes to growing the game, this is the single biggest moment in U.S. soccer history. There is nothing that can take away from this. I am so just I volunteered to work a watch party near where I live, and the emotion of that crowd. There were so many moments where things could have gone sour for that crowd, but the crowd never backed down until the final whistle when it was time to go home. That's when they finally stopped being the crowd that they were. I mean, we had goals called offsides, which were offsides, and even if they don't understand the offsides rule, they still stayed behind the team rather than complaining about soccer like we've seen so many times before. Fans would see offsides, wouldn't even know what the rule is, be like, oh, this is a stupid rule, blah 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 blah, and then just totally block out soccer. I saw fans not understand the rule, didn't really care. They're like, okay, can someone explain this to me? Had people explain it to them, and then like, okay, that makes sense. And then moved on and got back behind the team. And like, that's part of it here in soccer. Like, we see so many times, I've seen it plenty of times where people who understand the rules get frustrated with people who don't understand rules. Just teach them. Just teach them. If you're from the US and you know people who don't understand the rules, that's okay. That's okay. Just support that. That is what's going to help the game grow. I feel like so many people are like gatekeeping the sport. The world's game is being gatekept here in the US a lot of times. And I think that if we just get out of our own way, we could see so much success in this sport. We just teach people the rules. It's not the end of the world. The red card for Balogun, I think it was a red card. Now, I get why it was a red card. Like I see that, but I also see that it probably should have been called for Messi as well, and I think that that's totally unfair for the U.S. national team that that Messi's gotten away with one, and they're seeing their star striker sent off. But I don't know. This is kind of a rambling video. I didn't really have much of a script. I have some notes here about some of the players I wanted to highlight. Like even like one that I don't have on this list, Alex Freeman, probably a star right back. Probably the only position where we don't have a player right now that's going to be a generational player in their position is goalkeeper. And that's the position we're usually good at. So I just think that kind of shows the levels US has taken their game. And I'm so excited. I'm tired. You can tell looking at the bags under my eyes. I've been watching so many World Cup games. I'm exhausted at this point. But the joy I felt tonight in the crowd, the emotion I saw in the crowd after that second goal went in, the relief I felt. But after the red card, from the red card to the second goal, other people were still cheering them on, still excited. I was nervous. I was the one panicking. I was the one thinking this is it. This is the end. We're down to 10 men. We're going to run out of steam. But that team was willed to victory by that crowd. Not the one I was around, but the one in Santa Barbara, San Francisco, the Bay, where they were playing tonight against Bosnia. I'm so impressed with the growth of U.S. soccer just over this summer, and the the crowds I'm seeing on social media in local areas around me, like small towns that are known for other sports. Like, sorry, God, clearly I'm tired. It's nearly 1 a.m. here, but like, you know, towns with that are baseball towns or football towns, American football towns. We're seeing them now become big towns with soccer fandoms, and that's so big for the sport. And I don't want to ramble too much. I feel like I'm maybe talking in circles. Maybe the retention on this video is down to like 1% at this point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, if you're a fan from another country, do you see this as like as a big moment for U.S. soccer? Maybe I'm overreacting. If you're a U.S. fan, what are your thoughts on this as well? I'd be interested to continue this conversation in the comment section down below. But I think today's win was a top moment in U.S. soccer. Like, if we were to look at moments in U.S. soccer history, like a Mount Rushmore of moments in U.S. soccer history, I'd put 2002 beating Mexico, 2010 beating Algeria today, and hosting the 1994 World Cup / MLS starting. That was kind of in conjunction. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of like my Mount Rushmore moments in U.S. soccer. And wow, what a moment today.